morning. Good morning to you all. Good morning. What's up, Danny? Love and light. I see you. Destiny's in the building. That's right, Destiny. All is well. That part right there, my favorite thing. All is well. My life's in a mess, coach. That's impossible. The mess only exists in your mind. It doesn't exist in reality. Sefe, my brother, what's going on? DG, what's going on? Yeshua, I see you. I see you. Coach, my life is in a mess. Not possible. If you got chaos in your mind, you're going to have chaos in reality. If you've got chaos, Sophie, what's up, Sophie? So good to see you. So good to see you, mama. Love you too, Danny. If you got a mess going on in your mind, it's going to happen. It's only reality being pushed out. Yeah. Are you a part of our community? Are you a part of Mindset Masters? Good morning, Tracy. What's up? So good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Sir Presley, what's up? Good morning. So good to see you. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning to you all. Peace and blessings to you all. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. What's up, Kay? So good to see you. Good morning. Divine Angel, so good to see you. Thank you for sharing the live. Good morning. Good morning. Good morning. Yeah, I would encourage you to join the Mindset Masters family, and the only reason why I'm saying, if you're not, for the young lady that talked about mindset, because you got to understand how programming and conditioning works. If you don't understand how programming and conditioning works, it doesn't matter how positive you are, or it doesn't matter what you're trying to change about your life. If you don't really understand how programming and conditioning works, programming happens because of what someone is saying to you. Conditioning happens because of what's happening in the environment around you. So I say that to say this: if you're trying to make some change or some transition in your life positively, right? You're trying to change your life and move in some positive direction, but you're surrounded by people that still reflect who you used to be, it's going to be hard for you. It's going to be really hard for you. You got to be like an incredibly strong person to be able to be in an environment that is reflective of who you used to be, and be able to make this powerful transition at the same time. And everyone around you is still the same version of themselves that they were before you started making this transition to become whoever it is that you're trying to become. If that makes sense, that's going to be hard. That's why we created the Mindset Masters community, for that reason alone, because you need to be around like-minded individuals that are always pouring into you, because you got to understand how much programming and conditioning you have. Now, I don't know how old you are, but I would assume that you're at least 20. So even if you're 20 or you're 30 or you're 40 years old, that's 20, 30, 40 years of programming and conditioning. So you can't go and start studying something for a week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, and expect for that to override 20 years of programming and conditioning. Just think about what I'm saying. Does that make sense? You got 30 years of programming and conditioning, 40 years of programming and conditioning, and you've been studying self-awareness for 2 weeks, and you say, Coach, I don't see the change. Well, damn, you got 30 years of programming and conditioning you trying to undo. It didn't take you 30 or 40, it didn't take you 2 weeks to become who you are. It took you 30 years to become who you are. That part right there. Yeah. So that's a lot of programming and conditioning that you have to undo, that you have to unlearn. This is why I tell you guys, don't make self-awareness a goal. It's not some goal. It's not some destination. It's something that you have to work at every single day. It's not something that you can do occasionally. It's not something that you can do part-time. You don't do it when it's convenient for you. You don't do it when you're motivated, inspired. You do it because you have a burning desire to become something greater than you are right now. And you most definitely don't make a goal out of it. You don't ever make a goal out of self-awareness. That part right there, you just show up and do the work every single day, because the day that you become self-aware, you won't see it. You won't even know. It's just, you're just going to wake up one day and you're just no longer going to be the person that you used to be, but you won't see the transition happening. God doesn't work that way. He won't even allow you to see it. You won't be able to predict it. You won't be like, oh my God, I'm so close. None of that. So what's the ultimate goal? Cartier Beauty, what's the ultimate goal? Be a little bit more specific with your question. Good morning, D Ray. Good morning, you guys. Good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning, good morning. For all you guys coming in, good morning, good morning. I know I missed a bunch of you guys. Aquarian Goddess, good morning, Mama, good morning. Hey, girly girl, good morning. So good to see you. I enjoy your videos. So good to see you. Red's in the building. What's going on, Red? Big homie, what's going on, big homie? So good to see you. Lovely RN, so good to see you. But again, you guys, with self-awareness, fall in love with the process. That's what you fall in love with. Fall in love with the process of who you are becoming. Stop making some goal out of it. Don't place expectations on it. Fall in love with the process, because every single day you are changing, you are shedding that old version of yourself, right? It doesn't matter. Sometimes it's not something that you're going to be able to measure. It's like when you're losing weight, right? You don't feel the weight coming off as you're eating clean every day and you're drinking water every day and you're going to the gym every day. Things are happening, even if you can't see it in the mirror or if it's not being measured on the scale. So freeze that thought. Self-awareness is infinitely more impactful and important to your life than that right there, right? So that's what I need you to understand. So you're not going to see it happening in your life. Your changes are going to be happening, but most of them you won't even notice. They're just going to be things that you used to do, things that you used to entertain, things that you used to accept that you're just no longer going to accept or tolerate. And things are going to slowly start to melt away. So just fall in love with the process. If you're showing up every single day and you're doing the work, it's working for you. But just whatever you do, don't make a goal out of it. Don't place expectations. None of that, because you got to understand how many years of programming and conditioning that you're standing underneath right now, that you have to undo. And it's going to be different for every single person. No two people will become spiritually awakened at the same time. Humanly impossible. Why? Because they both have different programming and conditioning. You have to fall in love with the process. If you don't fall in love with the process, you will never become awakened. That part I can tell you. All right, let's get busy. But that's anything that you're doing. You know what I mean? Because the process is more important than the destination. It's the process, because once you become self-aware, there are no other goals after that, because you just become a gift, right? You become the blessing. So there are no other goals after that. When you continue to increase your self-awareness, absolutely, but there are no other goals after that. But the process, right? And that transition that you made, Sev, my brother, what's going on? That transition that you made from being who you used to be to becoming the greatest version of yourself is the most beautiful thing. And it's something that I wish maybe I had taken a little bit more time enjoying the process. So I don't want you guys to ruin that because you're so busy looking to see what's changing and what's happening and what's this and what's that. If you're showing up every single day, again, self-awareness is something you do every day. If you're doing it occasionally, it's not going to work for you. If you're doing it when you feel motivated, it's not going to work for you. If you're only doing it when you're inspired, it's not going to work for you. If you're only doing it when things are convenient for you, it's not going to work for you. You might as well go and read The Power of Now or do something different. It's not going to work for you. Okay, this has to be, I have a burning desire. I have something greater in me than what I've been experiencing in life. There's a calling on my life and I am ready to become that person. And then you fall in love with the process and you become that person. But you become that person today. Don't wait to become the person. Don't wait till you're self-aware. Become the self-aware version of yourself today. How do I do that, coach? Self-observation. That's where you start. That's where you start. Self-observation. What does that mean? Understanding everything that's happening in you and around you at all times. What's happening in you and around you at all times. Life is a single player game. I tell you guys this all the time. Life is a single player game. Stop playing it at a multiplayer level. You will never win the game of life playing it at a multiplayer level, ever. It's the fact you want to lose. The fastest way to lose in life is playing life at a multiplayer level. It's about you now. It's not about us. It's not about we. It's not about them. It's about you. Self-awareness is about you. It doesn't care about your friends. It doesn't care about your relationship. It doesn't care about your family. It cares about you because it's the gift that God has given you. So that you have to be greedy now so that you can become generous later. Be greedy with your time. Be greedy with your energy. Be greedy with where you place your attention. Place it on yourself. You need it more than anything. You need the love more than anyone else on the planet right now. You need your energy more than anyone else on the planet right now. You need your focus and attention more than anyone on the planet right now. Period. Stop giving everyone else the love that you should be giving yourself. We so freely give love away to everyone else. The hardest thing for you to do is to love you because you've been programmed and conditioned to love everything outside of you, just not to give that love for yourself. So it's hard for you to love you. It's hard. Almost feels like a job. For most people, it almost feels like a job. It's difficult. You struggle there. Even with telling people no, you struggle there. I don't even have to know you and I know that. You struggle there. Why? Because we've been programmed and conditioned to put everyone first, put ourselves last. It's part of your programming. So I don't blame you for that. I don't blame you at all for that. That part right there, Destiny, that part right there. That's okay if you struggle with it like that, but that's why you're here, because you need to learn how to utilize your mindset. You need to learn how to become the asset that you are. You need to learn. These are things that you need to learn. The same way you had to learn how to ride a bike, the same way you had to learn how to cook, the same way you had to learn how to drive. You didn't just learn. You weren't born just knowing how to do these things. Certain things you have to learn. And that's why God has you here, because there are certain things that you need to learn. And I'm the person that's going to teach you those things. And then you're going to become unlocked and you're going to become the greatest thing walking. You're already that thing. My job is to help you to remove the roadblocks from you being what you already are. So value is not what I'm adding to you. No one can add value to you. There's not a single person on the planet that can add value to you. No one can add to what's already great. You can't perfect greatness. You're already that. And if you don't believe that you are that, that's problem number one. All right. So people ask me all the time, what's my purpose in life, coach? You are the purpose. You are your purpose. You've been programmed and conditioned to believe that your purpose is something outside of you. You've been programmed and conditioned to believe that your purpose is somewhere else. That it's something that you need to discover. No, you are the purpose. Because the day that you meet you, the real you, the you that doesn't wear the mask, the you that doesn't have the programming and conditioning, the you that's no longer identifying as the wounded, the one that's identifying as the one that witnessed the wounds, the you that is the version of you that God created, the you that is your spiritual essence, the you that witnesses sight. You got something in you right now that witnesses sight. You've got something in you right now that sight reports back to. You've got something in you right now that sound reports back to. You've got something in you right now that thought reports back to. I'm giving you universal truth right now. You've got something in you right now that love reports back to. Depression reports back to. And it witnesses it all. Affected by nothing, unfazed, unbothered. That's the version of you I want you to recognize. That's the version of you that I want you to come in contact with. The one that sight reports back to. The one that sound reports back to. The one that all of your senses reports back to. The one that when you go to Madison Square Garden or when you're in the mall, looking at everything that's happening inside, you don't see with your eyes, you see with your mind. And then mind reports back to consciousness. Consciousness is what you are. Love is what you are. The divine is what you are. You're identifying as a version of yourself due to a lack of self-awareness that you are not. So as long as you continue to identify with that version of yourself, you're going to suffer. Because you're identifying as the one that experienced the wounds. You're identifying as the one that carries the pain. You're identifying as the one that this went wrong, coach, and that went wrong, and this went wrong. No, the things that went wrong in your life, something witnessed that. Something in you witnessed it. What's my purpose in life? You are the purpose. Because when you become the purpose, you become the gift. You become the blessing. You become the answer. You become the solution for every single person that you come in contact with. That's your purpose. And then anything that you want to do after that is just an extension of the value that you bring to the moment. Whether you want to go and be a content creator or you want to become an author or a speaker, a mother, a father, or whatever it is you do. Your purpose is to meet you. Have you met you yet? The one that carries the name. Have you met you yet? The one that's underneath the dust that you carry, the dust being a metaphor for all of your programming and conditioning and everything that you've experienced in all of your yesterdays. Have you met you yet? That's what's important. You will. It's going to take time. You're already on the right path. That's the most important thing in the world, just to be on the path. And if you're on the path, you're going to eventually arrive. That could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be next year. It could be next month. That's why I say don't set some time limit on it. Don't place pressure on yourself. Just keep working at being what you are. I'm that version of myself right now. I am that. I'm not looking for anything. I'm standing in my zone of genius right now. What's your zone of genius? Your zone of genius is this. So you have your zone of competence. That means that you do whatever it is you do just as good as everyone else. And then you have your zone of excellence. Your zone of excellence means that you do what you do just a little bit better than everyone else. And then you have your zone of genius. And your zone of genius means that your purpose and your passion have united. It's when you become unlocked. It's when you are the self-aware version of yourself. That's when you're the greatest version of you. That's when you're the strongest version of you, because that version of you isn't looking for love because you are it. That version of you is not seeking happiness outside of yourself because you are it. That version of you is no longer seeking external validation. It's not looking to be chosen. It's not chasing anyone or begging for anything because it's everything already. It's comfortable being alone. It's comfortable being in a group. That's that most powerful version of you. The version of you that's emotionally bulletproof, where when someone criticizes you, you feel sorry for that person versus wanting to react and project your hurt onto the person because there's no more pain in you. You understand that that person is suffering in that moment. And you understand that when that person judges you, they're judging you from their wounds, not from the healed version of you, because that's what we judge others from. That's why you got to be careful when you judge people publicly, because what you're revealing to everyone around you is that you are wounded still. We judge from our wounds, not from the most powerful version of ourselves. The healed version of you would never judge anyone. Only the hurt version of you does. Because whatever it is that that person reflected back to you in that moment triggered something in your wounds that caused you to lash out at that person. Be careful who you judge. And I'm not saying that because it makes you look bad. I'm saying that because you reveal a little bit too much about yourself when you judge someone else. If there are self-aware people around you, they're just looking at you. And they're saying that's a terrible thing. You don't realize how much you are revealing in that moment when you judge someone. So just be careful with that. I'm not saying that because it's a bad thing to judge people. No, I'm saying that because when you develop the ability to judge others, you simultaneously develop the ability to judge yourself. That's why you'll walk in the mirror and you'll see everything that's wrong with you. That's why you'll look at your life and you'll see everything that's wrong, because you have mastered the ability to see everything that's wrong with everyone else. And because you've mastered the ability to see what's wrong with everyone else, you have also mastered the ability to always find what's wrong with your life, because you built the program. You built a program that judges. So your mind doesn't know how to turn that off. So it's judging you, it's judging people, it's judging situations, it's judging life, it's judging everything. But the moment that you stop judging, you also stop judging yourself. When you stop judging others and you cut that program off, your brain will also stop judging you. Now, when you wake up in the morning, your brain will start doing subtraction, or start doing addition versus subtraction. Right now, when you wake up, it's probably doing subtraction. It's always looking at what's wrong. You're always in some constant state of dissatisfaction. Why? Because you don't find what's right in people, so your brain won't find what's right with you. Sip that, don't drink it. When you start looking out at the world and when you start finding what's right in people, that's a program that you're running. And because you're finding what's right in them, you're also finding what's right in you. But if all you do is look at people and find what's wrong, that's a program as well. That's why I'm telling you, don't judge people. Again, not because it's like, it makes you a bad person. It has nothing to do with that. I just don't want you running that program, because that program is going to do more damage to you than it does the person. You're only going to see that person maybe one time in your life. You're going to be with you every single day. So that program is always going to be running you. You're always going to be judging. You're always going to be judging. This is wrong with my life. That's wrong with my life. This is wrong with my life. Well, why is that happening to you? Because you always find what's wrong in everyone else. How do you become the coldest person in the room? Highlight people's strengths and not their weaknesses. I'm a master of that. I don't want to find where you're weak. You already know what makes you weak. I want to find what makes you strong. I want to find what makes you great. I want to find what makes you beautiful. So I'm going to highlight where you're strong. I don't need to highlight where you're weak. And because I do that, my brain does that for me all day long. It's a program I'm running. Highlight people's strengths and not their weaknesses. Doesn't make you powerful because you can highlight what's wrong with someone. What makes you powerful is when you can highlight what's right with someone, even when your life isn't where you want it to be. Hey, what's up, Moni? So good to see you. I'm telling you, highlight people's strengths and not their weaknesses. It's a beautiful skill. It's a beautiful skill. It's a beautiful skill. But most importantly, you got to understand how your brain works. It can't differentiate between fact and fiction. It doesn't know the difference between what you're imagining and what you're really experiencing in that moment. So because you built the program, it's always judging you, always finding what's wrong, always finding what's wrong with your body, what's wrong with your life, because you've mastered the ability to find what's wrong in other people. And the average person does that. Someone walks in, even though they look nice, flawless from head to toe. The first thing you find, oh, why did she wear those shoes with that outfit? Oh, why did she do this? Why did he do that? No, because that's coming from your insecurities. It has nothing to do with the person. You feel insecure in that moment. Their greatness is a reflection of everything that you are not in that moment, and you want to attack the person versus celebrating the person. I don't know why we're like that in life. The minute somebody walks in, flawless, head to toe, you find the first thing wrong with them. Yeah, but I wouldn't have worn that bag, or yeah, I wouldn't have did this and I wouldn't have did that. Your brain is listening, it's saying, oh, okay, that's what we're doing. So if you keep running that program, don't be surprised. Well, you'll wake up every single day doing subtraction, always focus on what's wrong with your life, always focused on what's missing, always focusing on what's not there, because you created the program. But you are also the one that can dismantle the program. Pick a side. That part right there, Bonnie, pick a side. That's all I'm saying. Your emotions are feedback, not facts. I need you to understand that. Your emotions are feedback, not facts. Start looking at it that way, and it'll change the way you see you. It'll change the relationship you have with your emotions if you start looking at them that way. They are indicators letting you know that something is no longer adding value to you. Something is no longer serving you. That's the only filter that I want you to look at your emotions through. Something is no longer serving you. My emotions are feedback. What are they coming to tell me? They're coming to let me know that something in my environment no longer serves me. Something in my environment no longer works for me. Something in my environment is no longer adding value to me. I don't need to look any deeper than that. If you look any deeper than that, you're going to confuse the situation. Your emotions are feedback, not facts. They are there to let you know that something in your environment no longer serves you. Something is no longer working for you. Whether you're clinging to some previous experience, whether you'll become attached to someone and you shouldn't, whether you're clinging to someone, whether you're not working on yourself, you're not growing, you're not evolving. You got some story that you created in your mind about what you think should be. You don't want to accept reality. You're rejecting reality. You're rejecting people. They are coming to let you know, hey, you're not the strongest version of you right now. You're the weakest version of you. You're out of alignment right now. That's the only thing they're coming to let you know. Are there good emotions and bad emotions, coach? No, they're just your emotions. Good or bad only exists in your mind, not in reality. You don't have good or bad emotions. You just have emotions. And every single emotion is trying to keep you in alignment with reality, trying to keep you in alignment with truth, trying to make sure that the story that you've created in your mind actually fits what's happening in your reality. Oftentimes we'll carry a story in our mind, and the story that we're carrying in our mind doesn't match reality. Doesn't match reality at all. And that's what produces your suffering, because you've got one version of the situation going on in your mind, and then reality has another. But reality is carrying the truth. Your version of the story is not the truth. That's why the emotion is coming to let you know that. If you just master this, you master everything. Your emotions are feedback, not facts. They're not trying to be right. They're not trying to prove anything to you. They're there to let you know you are out of alignment right now. That story that you created about what you think happened is a little bit too much assumptions going on. You have no facts here. There's no truth in your story. It doesn't match what's really going on. They're making you smarter. They're making you stronger. They're making you more powerful. I need you to understand that. They're letting you know when you're veering off the road. You're too caught up in what happened yesterday. You're too caught up in what might happen tomorrow. You're out of alignment right now. That's the only thing they're trying to let you know. I'm going to tell you the real problem. That's not even a problem. Alignment is everything. Alignment is everything. If you're out of alignment, you're not even living in reality. That should scare you or ignite you. If you're out of alignment, you're not living in reality. You're living in your mind. You're living in your thoughts about reality. You're living through your assumptions about reality. Why? Because you're not tapped into self-awareness. And so you're seeing the world through the emotion. That was never the goal. That was never the design. You don't look at your life through your emotions. Emotions are something you have. They are not something that you are. You don't become the emotion. You don't become your unhappiness. You don't become the depression. You don't become the anger. You take the feedback from that situation and you understand what are my emotions communicating to me right now? Where am I out of alignment now? Where have I lost control of myself? Most important thing in the world. But let me tell you the real problem. That's not even the real problem. You crave honesty from others, but you fear it from yourself. That's the real problem. You crave honesty from others, but you fear it from yourself. How pissed off you get if someone's not honest with you, someone lies to you, how angry you become. But you don't have a problem hanging on to that story about your relationship that's really out of alignment with what's going on. You don't want to live in the truth about that. You don't want to live in the truth about that toxic relationship. You don't want to live in the truth about the red flags that you've been seeing. You don't want to live in the truth about the fact that this person has already cheated on you. You don't want to live in the truth about that. You don't mind living in your fantasy when it comes to the things that you get to remain attached to. But the moment that someone outside of you lies to you, you got all the negative things in the world to say about them. You're ready to stop being their friend, cut this person off, block their number, and all these other things. But you don't do that when it comes to you. You don't mind not living in your truth. You don't mind not showing up as the most powerful version of you. You don't mind shrinking during certain moments. You don't mind putting other people on pedestals. You don't mind handing someone else the keys to your happiness. You don't mind living out of your yesterdays. You don't mind when it comes to all of that, the things that are actually important. We crave honesty from others, but we don't mind when we don't give it to ourselves. How do you not show up as the most authentic version of you? How dare you? How dare you enter a moment with everything that you got God behind you. How dare you shrink in the moment so that you can protect someone's feelings? Shrink in the moment and not speak your truth. Shrink in the moment because you're afraid to lose this relationship. Shrink in the moment because you don't want your partner to walk out the door. So you transform into everything you want. How dare you not show up as the most authentic version of you? What other version of you is there? There's only one version of you. How are you not showing up as that version of you? And what are you signaling to God when you shrink so that you don't lose this person? Coach, I don't want to lose my relationship, but you don't mind losing yourself. The most important thing you got is you. This person is a mistake-making machine. They are one mistake from the whole relationship being blown up. Walking around, mind in a mess, creating their problems, creating their depression, creating their fear, living out of their desires, loyal to the opportunity that's in front of them at that time, not to you. And you afraid to lose that? The moment you're afraid to lose something, you've already lost yourself. I said the moment you're afraid to lose something, you've already lost yourself. I'm not asking you to do anything different. I'm not asking you to climb the mountain. I'm not asking you to swim across the ocean. The next time that you're afraid to lose something, I just want you to reflect back on what we're talking about right now. The next time that you're afraid to lose some person, place, or thing, I just want you to reflect back on this moment right now. Because what you're signing off on is the fact that I'm comfortable losing me as long as I don't lose the thing. Why would love be afraid to lose anything? Because you're not being what you are. Because you're being what society told you to be. Being what your friends told you to be. Being what culture told you to be. You're not being what you are. Love shouldn't be afraid to lose anything. How can love be afraid to lose anything? You're talking about the most powerful force on the planet. You're talking about a force so powerful that people swim across nations. People go to war, different countries over love. Somebody loves someone. Why would love be afraid to lose anything? Because you're not being what you are. You're being what someone else told you to be. You transformed it to some different version of yourself so that you can hang on to this person. So you've already lost yourself. You didn't gain anything, you lost. You gained nothing. The gain is an illusion of your thinking. You think you gained the person doesn't belong to you. What worries you masters you. What worries you has already mastered you. That's why self-awareness is so important. Whatever you're worrying about right now is already in control of you. You're not in control of yourself. That's why you worry. You're not being what you are. You're not being the strongest version of yourself. You're operating out of lower mind. You're being the weakest version of yourself. You're the most powerful, you're God's greatest asset. You're the most powerful thing walking. You won't allow yourself to be it because you keep reminding yourself of everything that you're not. You keep surrounding yourself around people that reflect who you used to be. So you keep one foot, you try to become, I'm listening to coach every morning and I'm trying to become the greatest version of me, but you hanging out with people who reflect who you used to be. I'm worried about the convergence. That's what scares me when it comes to my students is convergence. Convergence meaning that the people that you are surrounded around most have such a significant impact on the way that you think, the way that you show up for yourself, the way that you love yourself, what you believe. Convergence is powerful. I'm concerned about that. If they were with me every single day, I would have zero concerns. So it's not so much what happens during this little hour that we get to hang out. It's what happens in the other 23 hours when I don't have access to you. That's what scares me. Who else is pouring into you? What else are you consuming? What other low vibrational, low frequency people may have access to you? Because that starts to wear and weigh you down. So you might leave here super fired up, jump on the phone with your friend, struggling, going through this, living out of their past, living out of their wound, living out of the programming and conditioning, dumping their problems onto you. And then this whole live stream, this whole moment is pushed to the back of your mind now. Coach, the self-awareness isn't working for me. It can't work for you. Not when you're surrounded by people that always are reminding you about who you used to be, what you used to do, what you used to have. You got convergence going on in your life. You're still in the same environment that's breaking you. It's going to be hard. I'm already got a big enough battle as it is, just trying to get past your ego, just trying to get past your programming and conditioning, just trying to get past your wounds, just trying to get past all of the assumptions and your prejudices and the labels that you carry. I already got a hard enough job. And that's if you're in the perfect environment. My job is hard. So if you're still in some environment that doesn't support your growth, that's like climbing Mount Everest barefoot. It's hard. That's why I go so hard on these lives. That's why I pour into you guys as hard as I do, because I understand I got to give you so much gasoline so that way when you leave here, hopefully your tank is so full that there's no space for anything else. But that's just hope. Let me say this real quick. Just because someone, you guys know me, my biggest thing is respect, right? For me, it's the biggest thing. More than anything else is respect. Just because someone asks you something doesn't mean that they have the right to know. That's wonderful that you asked a question, but just because someone has asked you something doesn't mean that they have the right to know. That's why moving in silence is so important, because when you move in silence, people don't know what to attack. But we become a society where we over-explain things, we over-communicate things. You think that everyone is going to be happy for your growth, for your success, for your transformation, and they're not. Let me tell you why. Let me qualify that. Because what's happening in that moment, if this person is a friend of yours, what's happening in the mind of that person is that they see that you are slowly starting to pull away from them. They see that. And so because they see that, they don't feel happy for you, because they want to hang on to the version of you that fits who you were when you guys first met in the beginning. They're not ready to let go of that version of you yet. And so you're growing every day and you're sharing this and sharing that and sharing this. And in your mind, you're thinking, why wouldn't you be happy for me? But again, the person is terrified that you're going to outgrow them, that you're going to move on with your life, that they will no longer have a role in your life. This is why I tell you guys, be careful with who you share your self-awareness journey with. Be careful, because because your mind is telling you, because you're happy for you, you're making the assumption that everyone else is going to be happy for you, and they won't. Not because what you're doing is bad, but because the version of you that this person has become attached to, you are no longer becoming that version of you. Does that make sense? Everybody understand that? Is there anyone that's struggling with what I just said? And for some of you guys, I understand it, because for some of you guys, it's exciting. You learning all of this stuff and You becoming stronger and things are falling off and things that you used to do, you don't do anymore. And you just assume that people would be happy for you. It's a natural assumption. I'm not worried about the assumption. My job is to prepare you so that you not only know how to think for you, but you know how to think for the people that you're coming in contact with. My self-awareness is so powerful that when I say something to someone, I can pretty much predict 99.9% of the time what that person's reaction is going to be to what I say. That's my point. So you like, why is this person not happy for me? Why is this person? They're not happy for you because they're afraid that the version of you that they've become attached to, the version of you that they love so much, they are afraid that you're going to move away, that you're no longer going to be that version of you. And this is why I tell you guys, self-awareness is so powerful. You have to meet people where they are because they can't meet you where you are. They can't meet you where you are. So self-awareness gives you the ability to turn it off. So when you're talking to that girlfriend, or when you're talking to your homeboy, or when you're talking to whoever that person is in your life that you genuinely care about, turn it off. Go back to being the version of you that they are familiar with, they are comfortable with. Because when you start coming with all of this powerful talk and stuff like that, you scare them. Because they don't understand it at your level of consciousness because they're operating at a lower level of consciousness. That's what I need you to understand. They don't understand it like you. They don't get it like you, and they will not see it like you because their mind isn't wired in that moment to be able to receive that information properly. So now the conversations become awkward. They become weird. They become all of these things. They can't meet you where you are, which means that you got to go back and meet them where they are. That's no different when you're talking to your kids. You're not coming with all of this self-awareness talk when you're talking to your little ones. You don't do that. You talk to them in a language that makes them feel comfortable so that they can understand. Do that with your friends and family as well. I have to do it with my mom every day. I talk to my mom every day. My mom doesn't have a self-aware bone in her body. Not one. Not one. The person that I wanted to help the most, I wasn't able to help. For all of the mothers that I've helped, for all of the mothers that were able to transform, I couldn't do it for my own mom. So guess what I do? I meet her where she is. Because she can't meet me where I am. You're not being disloyal to yourself. So don't think that. Well, coach, isn't that big? No, you're not being disloyal to yourself. That's true love right there. Let me meet you where you are. And we do that. And we hang out on the phone. I'll talk to my mom for an hour. We talk about the past. We talk about this. We talk about that. And people that came and went and grandmas and grandpas. And she has an amazing time. The self-awareness never comes out of my mouth. Not one time. My mom doesn't know that I know all of what I know. She has no idea. No clue. No clue. I don't put that pressure on her like that. That's what I'm saying. I'm telling you, with all the stuff that I know, my mom has no idea. But she knows her son is out doing good in the world. She knows that I'm out changing the world. She just doesn't know how it works, what it is. She just has no clue when it comes to that. She's like, yeah, baby, you changed somebody's life today. I'm like, yeah, mom, I changed somebody's life today. Oh, that's good. That's it. That's about as deep as that river runs. And that's perfect, Tina, that part right there. And that's beautiful. And then we go back to talking about what she cooked last night. And that's it. So I'm just saying, you guys, be careful. When you're talking to different family members and friends and different people that you genuinely have a strong and powerful relationship with, be careful that you don't reveal so much of this self-aware version of yourself because it terrifies them. That's all I'm saying. Yes, she loves her life because she doesn't know anything different. You see what I'm saying? How could she know she was? It's like you. If you've never been a billionaire before, you don't know what you're missing. Only the billionaire can tell you, oh, you missing this and you missing that, and you missing this. But if you've never been a billionaire before, you don't wake up every single day stressed out that you're not a billionaire, right? You just live the life that you're comfortable living. And it's the same thing with my mom. She doesn't know, how do you miss self-awareness if you never had it? Again, the beauty about self-awareness is that it gives you the ability to turn it off and on. If you can't turn it off and on, you're not self-aware at all. You pretended to be, but you're not. The self-aware person can turn it off, meet you exactly where you are, turn it on, and go right back to the top of the universe. Just like that. Think about it. If you're talking to your niece and nephew, you mean to tell me that you only one version of yourself? That's what you're telling me? When you're talking to your little 3-year-old, 4-year-old, little 5-year nephew, you coming with all this powerful talk about what you learned at medical school, or what you learned in the legal field, and what you learned being a nurse, and that's what you're telling me with a straight face? Of course you don't. You transform into a different version of yourself that fits where they are in life. And then when you leave them, what do? You turn it back on, you go back out to the world, and you do your thing. Okay, well, self-awareness is no different. You turn it off, you turn it on. Because everyone you meet, 95% of the people that you meet, I could go much deeper than that, but 95% at minimum percent of the people you meet are not self-aware. So you having that conversation with them, what is that going to do for you? It's going to make the conversation weird. You know what I mean? And it's going to make you look weird because you're speaking a foreign language to them in that moment. That's what I'm saying. Don't overthink it. When you become self-aware, you'll understand what I'm saying. If you're not there yet, then what I'm saying may not make any sense to you at all. Same thing. Yeah, same thing in the workplace. It's no different in the workplace. Again, it's people are already comfortable with the version of you. If you have a job right now, wherever you work, right, whatever your place of business is, if you have a job right now, they've already grown accustomed to whatever that version of you is. And so because they've already grown accustomed with whatever that version of you is, what you don't want to do is start making all of these huge changes and transformations to where now people don't know how to approach you. They don't know how to talk to you. They don't know how to deal with you because you become this super weird version of yourself. See, that's why I love the way that I teach, because I teach people, man, turn it off and on. You got to be smarter than the moment. That's what you have to be. You've got to be smarter than the moment. So intelligent that you know what the moment needs. I know what version of me I need to insert into the moment. If you don't know that, then you're not self-aware yet. If you're only one version of yourself with every single person that you meet, you're missing people. That part, read the room. You should know what you need to bring to the moment. You should know what you need to add to the moment. You should know what you need to subtract from it. There should never be a time when you don't know what the moment requires. Because if you don't know what the moment requires, you're not in control of it. It's in control of you. If you don't know anything else, you should always know what the moment needs because you are it. There's only the present moment. And if there's only the present moment, that can only mean that you are the moment. That's what self-observation is trying to teach you. It's trying to teach you, take a detached look at your life. That's why self-observation is so powerful in awareness. You take a detached look at your life, the same way you look at your car. When you go outside and you look at your car, you don't get all emotional about the car, right? You go outside and you look at your car, you say, okay, I need to tint the windows, or maybe I want to get some different tires and wheels, or maybe I want to upgrade the stereo, or maybe I want to upgrade the engine, or maybe I want to take this away or do this. You're looking at your life the same way. You look at your life and you say, okay, this is working for me. This is not working for me. I don't need to get all emotional about it. This person is working for me, or this person is not working for me. I don't need to get all emotional about it. I'm not growing like I should be. I'm not, you looking at your life from a detached perspective. Let me give it to you like this. This is the best way to look at self-observation. Imagine that you're sitting in a chair. You've got the current version of you. You've got the future version of you. The future version of you is giving advice to the current version of you. What would you tell the current version of you? And be honest with yourself, because if you're not going to bring honesty to the moment, this exercise will never work for you. Bring honesty to the moment. If you're looking at your life, would the future version of you tell you to walk out of that relationship? Would the future version of you tell me to go get a different job? Would the future version of you tell you, hey, you need to hit the gym a little bit harder? Would the future version of you tell you, hey, you need to eat a little cleaner than you've been eating? What would the future version of you tell you? That's how you're looking at your life from a detached perspective. I don't get emotional. I look at myself and I'm saying, I need to change this. I need to do a little bit more of this. When I leave the gym, I'm going to give you a good example of that. When I leave the gym, I say, I didn't go as hard as I should have. I get on me, not become emotional, not become angry. I'm looking and I'm saying to myself, I did not go as hard as I need to. Tomorrow, I need to double down on that. I didn't study like I needed. I didn't bring it on that live like I needed to today. Tomorrow, I need to double down on that. I need to go harder. Again, no emotion. Looking at everything from a detached perspective. Look at your life that way. There's no need to get all emotional about anything. No need to lose control. Stay in control, because if you lose control, who's in control? That's why self-observation is so important. You're looking at your life with pure honesty and you're saying, this relationship doesn't work for me anymore, or it does work for me, or we need to turn the communication up, or we need to turn this up. We need to turn that down. You know, what's working, what's not working. And then you're just looking and you're making changes to whatever changes need to be made. That's it. But you should be doing that every single day, checking the perimeter fence to who you are, because what may have made sense yesterday may not make sense today. And that's okay. The person that you loved yesterday, you may not love the same way today. And that's okay. What you chose yesterday, you may not want to choose today. And that's okay. We suffer when we're afraid to walk away from things. We suffer when we remain attached to things. We suffer when you can clearly see that the thing doesn't add value to you anymore, but you're so afraid to let this person know that because you're more concerned with their feelings than you are with your own. Hang on, you guys. Does that make sense? That's when you suffer. Yeah. Said you've been playing small and safe. Got it. That part right there, Rika, that's when you hurt yourself. You hurt yourself because you're afraid to walk away from what's no longer serving you. But you wouldn't do that if it were your car. If the rims or the tires on your car weren't working anymore, you would just get rid of them. You're not going to hang on to the tires. You're going to damage the car. So if the tires can damage the car, cause it to be out of alignment, and you might veer off the road and all of these other things like that, what do you think having a person in your life is doing to you that no longer serves you? If some simple tires can change the whole quality of the ride in that car, if some simple tires can cause that car to veer off the road, especially if it's raining, if tires can do that and disrupt the quality of that car, what can a whole human being do being in your life that no longer serves you, that's disrespecting you, that's abusing you, that's hurting you, that's cheating on you, that's lying to you? If that's doing it to the car, what is that person doing to you? How you judging? You thinking too hard. You're not judging. You're living in reality. If something is not adding value to you, it's not adding value to you. Has nothing to do with judging. That's reality. I'm talking about when I'm saying judging, I'm talking about somebody walking in a restaurant. You don't know this person, and the first thing you do is find something wrong with that person. That's judging. What I'm talking about is the person being in your life that you're waking up next to every single day. This person no longer adds value to you. It's clear to you. It's clear to the person, but you hang on to the person. That's what I'm talking about. Don't think too hard. Don't think too hard. You're thinking too hard. That scares me more than anything is the thinking. You thinking too hard. Yeah, you super overthinking right now. And so that's what self-observation is. And it's a two-way street. Let me say it to you this way. Let me say it to you this way. Let me tell you what real unconditional love is. If there were another coach right now, comes on at the same time as me, that could add more value to your life than I can, I need you to go and be with that coach. I need you to go and learn what you need to learn. That's unconditional love. That's me saying to you that I want to see you become the best version of yourself. Even if I'm not the one that's a part of that journey, as long as you become what God created you to be, we all win. That's love. But that same rule applies in the relationship. If I'm in a relationship with you, I can't meet your needs. I can't meet your desires. I can't live up to your expectations. I'm falling short. I don't really know what love is. I'm not giving you everything that you want, need, and desire. But I'm claiming to love you. But I can't give you what you need. If I genuinely love you, then I should remove myself from the situation because I don't want to block your blessings in life. I don't want to block your happiness in life. I don't want to block your joy and your peace and your all of these things because that's exactly what I'm going to do. And if you remain in that relationship with me, who knows? You're going to shrink in that moment. You're going to become less in that moment. That's going to impact your self-concept, which is going to impact your beliefs, which is going to impact the relationship you have with yourself. And who knows? I would feel terrible knowing that there was someone else out there that could have brought you the happiness that you were seeking, but I was so selfish that I wouldn't remove myself from the situation because I was more concerned with what I was going to get from the situation. Some of you guys are in situations like that right now. You're in a relationship where this person can't give you everything you want, need, and desire, but you're so focused on how they feel, and you're not focused at all on how you feel. There's no love there. Love means that I want to see you happy, even if that happiness doesn't include me. But some of us, not all, don't throw us all in there. Some of us are so selfish that we'll know that you can't be everything that this person wants you to be, and you still stay in the way. Know that you're not being everything. And here's the thing. Everything that they're asking you for is the bare minimum. That person is asking you for love. That's free. That person is asking you for joy. That's free. That person is asking you to be a high-level communicator. Free. That person is asking you for understanding and kindness and empathy from time to time. All free. Support. All free. So it's not like we're asking someone for things that cost too much money. These things aren't expensive at all because you couldn't purchase them even if you wanted to. So when you're in a situation with someone that doesn't want to give you everything and you want, need, and desire, man, that's a choice. It's not that that person doesn't have what you need. The person is not willing to give you what you need. There's a thought going on there. That's what terrifies me when I'm looking at these relationships. Somebody has made a conscious decision to not be everything you want them to be, because all of that requires effort. Doesn't require intelligence to love someone. It doesn't require intelligence to be kind. It doesn't require intelligence to communicate. Passion doesn't require intelligence. So what are we talking about here? You ain't got to go to school to learn how to do these things. You just have to be willing to do them. And if you genuinely love that person, you would be willing to do all of that. So if you're in a situation when someone's not willing to do that, it's because they don't want to do it. Not because they can't, because they don't want to. See, my job is to bring a level of truth to your life that hits you so hard in your chest, you can't deny it. My job is to speak so much power and truth into your life to where the truth is the only thing that pumps through your veins. I don't live out of illusions and fantasies. I don't create stories about reality. I just live in reality. I speak from reality. Most people have never experienced reality because we're too busy experiencing our programming and conditioning that we project onto reality. Most people never experience reality. That's why when I talk to people, I hit you with so much truth, because I'm speaking from reality, not from my thinking about reality. That adds no value to you. I'm telling you, I don't know too many people that speak a level of truth like I do. And sometimes that truth that I hit you with, it's going to bump up against your programming and conditioning. But what you won't be able to deny is the fact that it's real. You have never heard me tell you anything that's false. There's no room for that. My opinions don't matter. My assumptions don't matter. I can't add value to you that way. I have to hit you with universal truth. If I don't give you universal truth, I didn't give you anything. There's a difference between the truth and universal truth. I only speak universal truth. Most people give you the truth, and the truth is their version of what they think happened, their version that they heard from someone else, their version that's predicated on their assumptions. Don't have time for that. No time. Let me tell you what's mind-blowing. I'm going to tell you what's mind-blowing. You want to know what love is? And I'm talking about just in relationships. You want to know what love is? It's going to blow your mind. It's right in front of you. It's been in front of you the whole time. You probably didn't see it. You've been so close to it. Sometimes you can be so close to something. Somebody said freedom. Oh, Joanna, that was beautiful. That was beautiful right there. You said something. You said that. If I didn't know what I know, I promise you I would have took that and ran with it. Shonda, you already know. Seatbelts on, seatbelts on. That part right there, April. That part right there, Pickle, Sharice. That part right there, Nicole. Watch this though. If you'll just wrap your mind around what I'm getting ready to say, it'll change every single relationship for the better that you will ever have. If you would just wrap your mind around this. Don't overthink it. Don't hang on to the metaphors too tight, because if you do, you miss the point. Okay? Don't hang on to the metaphors too tight, because if you do, you'll miss the point. Let me tell you what love is. Most beautiful thing in the world. Love is service. To love is to serve. What is God? God is love. What does he do? He serves. Love is service. So if I'm in a relationship with you, it should bring me so much joy and so much pleasure to serve you. And when I'm talking about service, that's a two-way street. Love is service. If you're in a relationship right now and there's no service in the relationship, then love's presence is not there. If you're in a relationship and there's no respect in the relationship, then love's presence isn't there. Because service and respect are opposite ends of the same stick. I'm serving you because I love you. I'm serving you because I respect you. And I understand that there are 8 billion people on the face of this earth, give or take, that you could choose to be with. 8 billion different experiences that you could have. But you choose me every day. You wake up every single day and you make a conscious choice. There's no chains on you. There's no restrictions on the door. There's no walls built around our house. And you choose me again and again, every single day. When you look at your life and your relationships through this filter, you'll see it. If there's no service there, there's no love there. Any relationship that is toxic, any relationship that's falling apart is falling apart because service has stopped. And maybe you kept serving. You got in the relationship and you continue to serve your partner. But at some point in time, they stopped serving you. No more doors being opened up. No more acts of kindness. No more conversations. No more passion. No more drive. No more any of that going on. And you're looking like, well, what's going on? We started the relationship, there was service going on. We started the relationship, there was respect going on. My respect meter is still running. My service meter is still running, but yours is turned off. I get nothing from you. Now the relationship has become a desert. Now nothing can grow there. I'm not growing. You're not growing. Now disrespect comes. Now the abuse comes. Now the pain comes. Now the suffering comes. But the first thing that went was service. Service is how we got to the love. Respect is how we got to the love. But because we didn't keep that going, love's presence took off. Look at your failed relationships and you'll see it. Just put yourself in park for 5 seconds and just look through the rearview mirror of your life and you will see it. The most powerful thing that you can have in your relationship is service. Service has to be the foundation, because if we're so busy serving each other, we don't have time for disrespect. If we're so busy serving each other, we don't have time for the abuse. We don't have time to be arguing and fighting and all of those things because we're too busy taking care of each other. But if you have no service, you have nothing. If you have no respect in the relationship, you have nothing. Love is service. To love is to serve. God is love. What does he do? He serves. What is he trying to transform you into? A server. So that you hand love out to every single person that you come in contact with. And it doesn't matter what they give you in return. You don't serve him. Your programming and conditioning may make you think that you do, but you actually don't. He's serving you. Let me qualify that in case you're struggling with that. What would you be serving him with? Everything that you could give him is something that he already has given you. From your tongue to the words, the way that you speak, the way that your body, everything that you could possibly be giving him is only something that he's already giving you. You're not serving him. And what he's saying to you is this: I don't need you to give me anything because I am already everything. I need you to give it to that homeless lady. I need you to give it to that single mother. I need you to give it to the man on the corner who's hungry. I need you to give it to that little child that doesn't have a bike. Don't waste your time giving it to me. Give it to every single person that you see, because every person you see is me. So we're all being transformed through awareness to be servers. To love is to serve. If you're not serving, there's no love in you. That's conditional love. That means that I only rock with the people that rock with me. I only serve the people that I know. I don't talk to strangers. I can't give you anything, even though you got a bank account full of everything that you need. I'll be nice to you if you're nice to me. You're not my race or my ethnicity, so I don't really rock with you like that. That's all conditional love. That's all your programming and conditioning. Love is service. Period. I wake up every single day. I'm serving you right now. You're not serving me. I'm serving you. And I got the information already. So it's not like I'm sitting here needing to, I'm already in possession of it, but I'm serving. And every single person that I come in contact with respect to what I know, with respect to what my gifts are, with respect to what I bring to the table, with respect to what my assets are, I'm serving. That's what I'm saying. Because love is in me. And when love is in you, it brings you pleasure to serve. You're not looking at your hand out looking for what you can get in return for what you're doing. It doesn't matter. I'm speaking to the people that speak negatively of me on here, people that have negative comments and criticisms, people that always have some opinion about this, about that. It doesn't matter. I'm serving everyone. It's all service. That's where awareness is taking you. If you didn't know, that's where it's taking you, because the server is the most powerful person on the planet. You can't take anything from me because I'm giving it. There's nothing to take. Tanashi, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Does that make sense? That's where awareness is taking you. That's where awareness is taking you. See, but we've been programmed and conditioned that you think that the server is the weakest person in the room. No, the server is the strongest, because the server is in possession of everything. That part right there. I'm giving it. There's nothing to take. I appreciate that, Tim. Yeah. So again, look at your relationship right now. I'm not asking you to change anything. I'm not asking you to leave anyone or drop anything. There's only two things. When you're looking at your relationship and any future relationship, there should only be one filter: service. It's the only thing that you should keep your eye on, because when service is gone, the relationship's over. It's over. Let me tell you what takes over when service leaves. Let me tell you what takes over. Manipulation takes over. Attachments take over. You playing some role in my life that I still need you to feel. You make my life more convenient. You add value to me. I'm not in love with you, but I am in love with the value that you add to my life. I'm not in love with you, but I am in love with the convenience that you add to me. I'm not in love with you, But I am in love with the quality of life that I get to experience because you go out in the world and you slay every day. So it's not about you. I'll tell you I love you, but my actions don't say that. I'll tell you I respect you, but my actions don't say that. My energy doesn't say that, but my words say it. And when you're not loving yourself, because see, you are the blueprint. If you never become love, how will you know whether or not you're actually receiving it? Think about what I'm saying. If you don't give it to yourself first, how will you know whether or not my love is real or John's love is real or Stacy's love is real? How will you know? If you don't give it to yourself first, you will have no idea about what it really is. And when you're giving yourself 5-star love, you'll know when someone is giving you 3-star love or 4-star love. You'll recognize it like that. But most people don't love themselves, so you don't mind when someone else isn't loving you. Most people don't respect themselves, so you don't mind when someone else disrespects you. Most people don't show up for themselves, so you don't mind when this person doesn't show up for you because you don't do it. So you're not missing anything. That's what I'm saying. If you don't give it to yourself first, how will you even know what it feels like? The blueprint to love has to come from you. You can't let someone else set that standard. You got to give it to yourself first, and then you become the standard. And then anytime that someone is not living up to that standard that you're already giving yourself, you're going to see it like that. You're going to see it just like that. But we're so comfortable not giving ourselves certain things that we don't miss it when someone else isn't doing it. You don't even mind. You are your most important relationship, and that's not bumper sticker talk. You are your most important relationship because the standard has to be set by you. I'm going to follow the standard that you set. But if I meet you and there's no standard in place, you have no respect for yourself. You're not really loving yourself like that. You don't really show up for yourself like you should. You don't believe in yourself like you should. You don't all of these things. I'm just going to be a reflection of everything that you already are. I can't be any more than that. And no person is going to place more value on you than the value you place on yourself. You will never meet a person that places more value on you than you place on you. God aside, he's the only one that places more value on you than the value you place on yourself. Only one. Because he's not looking at you through your mistakes. He's not looking at you through all the times when you fail. He's not looking at you through the rearview mirror of who you used to be. He only sees you through your potential. He knows what you can become already. So it's the only lens that he utilizes when he looks at you. He understands that every mistake that you've made and every failed relationship and all of the trauma and all of the wounds and everything you've experienced is leading you somewhere. He already understands that. We're the ones that don't understand it. So we keep looking at ourselves based upon who we used to be and what happened and all of the failed relationships and I don't have any money and you're looking at yourself based upon your current circumstances and then you don't see your future as being bright because you're carrying too much. Your choices and decisions that you've made in all of your yesterdays is the byproduct of your current circumstances right now. That's what I need you to understand. Whatever all of the culmination of your choices and decisions from all of your yesterdays is what has created your current circumstances. But your current circumstances aren't a reflection of who you are. They're a reflection of who you were. They're a reflection of who you used to be. It has nothing to do with who you are. But you're looking at yourself based upon your current circumstances, and then you're looking at the future. And so your future is always a projection of whatever your current circumstances are. That's why that's dangerous. So if you haven't accomplished much, you don't think you can become much. Not because you can't, not because God is saying you can't or reality is saying you can't. It's because we lack the self-awareness to understand that my current circumstances is only a reflection of some previous choices and decisions that I made. I made some bad choices. I made some right choices. I made some bad decisions. I made some right decisions. But it led me here. But what got you here won't get you there. So who you used to be is no longer important. Who you are becoming is what's important. Your current circumstances are not a reflection of who you are. It's nothing to do with who you are. Let me say this because I feel like I need to say that. I feel like somebody might make this mistake today. Stop giving people the blueprint on how to waste your time. That's the most catastrophic mistake that may be the biggest mistake that you will ever make. Stop giving people the blueprint on how to waste your time. See, let me tell you what happens. Sometimes in life, when we're really not loving ourselves, we're not showing up for ourselves, we're not the best version of ourselves. Maybe you just coming out of a relationship, you coming out of something. Maybe you've been single for a long time, right? You've been lonely, right? And finally you meet someone. And when you meet this person, you're so excited. So excited to gain access to this new person. So excited you finally got somebody in your life that you vibing with. And then you go meet this person for the very first time. You guys may go have coffee, you have dinner, you go have drinks, whatever it is you do. And it's that first time when you guys are sitting there, we all have those moments when we're talking about the relationships and talking about who we are and what we do. That moment. We've all been there. But the mistake that you make is you'll start telling this person everything that went wrong in your last relationships, everything that went wrong in your previous relationships. You start telling this person all of these things. And what I need you to understand is this. The only thing that person hears is what you are willing to accept or tolerate. That's it. The only thing that person hears is what you are willing to accept or tolerate. Yeah, I bought him all these clothes and I financed his life and I bought her this and I bought her a condo and I bought him that and he cheated on me 5 times and I took him back and she did this and all of those. The only thing that person is doing is listening to you. You just gave that person the whole blueprint on how to play you. You just gave that person the whole blueprint on what you are willing to accept or tolerate. And the first fight that you have with that person, they're going to bring all of that back. You didn't do that when so-and-so did it. You didn't say that when so-and-so did this. You didn't act like that when this happened. And you were the one who gave the person the blueprint on how to play you. Whatever it is that may have went wrong in all of your yesterdays, it's none of their business. It's no one's business what went wrong in all of your yesterdays. No one's business. And let me tell you why it's not. Well, coach, is it that I don't want to be this? How are you adding value to the person? How did you just make this person smarter by telling them about everything that went wrong in your yesterdays? How did you add value to them? You don't add value to a person by telling them who you used to be. You add value to a person by telling them who you are becoming. You add value to a person by telling them where you are going, not where you've been. The only thing I can do is give you the blueprint on how to play me. If I'm telling you about all of my yesterdays, and what you got to understand is this: there's only two types of people that you're going to meet. People that want to build on you and people that want to build with you. And you won't know the difference between the two in the beginning because they both come in smiling. They both come in looking the same. Both come in interested. Both come in focused. You won't know which version of that person you're getting. If you're getting someone that wants to build with you, or if you're getting someone that wants to build on you. The person that wants to build with you is looking for all of the different ways that they can add value to your life. They're going to make more deposits into you than withdrawals. They are genuinely interested in who you are. But the person that wants to build on you, is looking to leverage your success to finance their future, is looking for how they can make deposits from you. Or withdrawals from you, That's what you got to understand. There's people that want to build on you, and then there's people that want to build with you, and they both look the same in the beginning. That's why self-awareness is so important. So here's the game. If I only tell you about who I am in this moment, you can't hurt me. There's no database for you to draw off of. There's nothing that you can do. You don't know what I'm willing to accept. You don't know what I'm willing to tolerate. And if I've got 5-star respect for myself, and if I've got 5-star love for myself, and if I'm adding and investing in myself, and I'm going to the gym, and I'm eating healthy, and I'm doing all, you have no choice but to meet me where I am. But if I start telling you about all of the failed relationships and what went wrong, and I did this for her and did that for him and all these other things, I'm telling you things that adds zero value to your life. When you meet someone new from this moment moving forward, telling them about who you used to be. Now, it's one thing to say, this is my career and I did this and I do this and I do that. All of that's fine. But when it comes to relationships, that's no one's business. It's sacred. Your relationship or your relationships previously is sacred information. No one should, that's between you and God. You feel like you need to tell someone, tell God. He'll listen to you all day. Tell him. But don't tell this person, because the only thing that you can do when you tell this person is give them the blueprint on how to play you. So from this moment moving forward, don't ever make that mistake. That's the biggest relationship mistake that you can make, because the very first fight that you have with that person, all of that's coming out. I promise you. Yeah, you gave them all the bullets. Everything that they firing at you, you gave them. So like I said again, it's wonderful who you used to be, because who you used to be is what led you to this moment. Who you used to be is what led you to the relationship that you get ready to have with that person. I need to be focused on who you are right now. I need to be focused on your programming and conditioning. I need to be focused on what value are you bringing to my table. I don't have time to tell you about what went wrong in all of my relationships, because I'm too focused on what value are you adding to me right now. So let's not waste a bunch of time and energy talking about things that doesn't add value to you, won't add value to me. What I need to know is, what value are you bringing to my table, sir, ma'am? That's the only thing that matters. In what ways are you going to increase me? Because see, what you got to understand about a relationship is this. Every relationship should help you become better, stronger, smarter, faster. That should be the criteria. Once you start walking through life with self-awareness, you're going to understand that every single relationship should help you become better, stronger, smarter, faster. If I'm not becoming better, stronger, smarter, faster, what the hell am I becoming? I mean, there is nothing else to become. If you're not becoming better, stronger, smarter, faster in your current relationship, what are you becoming? You're becoming something. What are you becoming? A lesser version of yourself? The relationship should put you in a position, diamond hard fact, the relationship should put you in a position to become a better version of yourself than you would have become had you never been in a relationship to begin with. I stepped in that relationship, coach, because I had an opportunity to become something greater than I would have been able to become on my own. How is that? Because I'm gaining access to a force multiplier. I'm gaining access to a co-pilot. I'm gaining access to another person that I can combine my resources with. I'm gaining access to someone that I can combine my intelligence with. So I'm gaining access to things that I wouldn't be able to have on my own. It makes all the sense in the world. But you mean to tell me you got people walking around in a relationship, you lesser version of yourself? You walking around confused? Your self-concept has been impacted. You're not loving yourself. You're not showing up for yourself. You don't hang out with your friends anymore. You've lost your glow. You lost your shine. What are you doing? How are you winning in the situations? When I'm trying, somebody's winning. There's somebody in that relationship, even when the relationship is toxic. Somebody is winning. I've learned that about toxic relationship. If I haven't learned anything else, somebody is getting value. Because if both parties aren't getting value, then we go like this. Somebody is getting value still. It's just not you. And chances are the person that's getting the value is the one that's creating all of the problems because you add convenience to their life. You help with the quality of their life. Some role that you're playing for this person that they wouldn't be able to have if you were not there. Oh, they still getting value. You're just not getting it. Oh, coach, the relationship doesn't work for me. Well, it's working for somebody. It's working 5-star for somebody, just not you. I've been doing this for a long time. Long time. Even in a toxic relationship, somebody is benefiting. Somebody's benefiting. You're just probably not the person. If you're the one complaining about the relationship, you're just not the person that's benefiting. But your partner is. Mandy, baby, what's going on? Let me say this real quick. Let me say this real quick. Sefe, my brother, let me say this to you real quick. Love by itself is not enough to save the relationship. We're going to stop that lie right now. Love by itself is not enough to save the relationship. And love is powerful, but it can't do it by itself. Coach, but I love him. But does your partner respect you? Coach, but I love him. But does your partner place value on you? Coach, I love him. But is your partner kind to you? It takes all of these things. It's not just love. Do you value each other? That's what matters. Do you respect each other? That's what matters. Is there service in the relationship? That's what matters. We've been so programmed and conditioned to just focus on love that we fail to realize and understand all of the things that we're not getting when we're sitting and focused on love. How there's no kindness, how there's no passion, how there's no communication, which begs the question, well, what brand of love is that? Now I'm curious because I don't know how you could be getting love and not be getting respect. I don't know how you could be getting genuine love and not get kindness. I don't know how you could get genuine love and not get compassion and understanding. What are you getting? But coach, he loves me. But you don't get all of the other things that come with love, but you get in love. That doesn't make sense. You getting the word. You're not getting the action. You're getting the word. You're not getting the energy that's associated with the word. You're getting the word. You're not getting the behavior that comes with the word. You're just getting the word. Because if genuine love is there, there should be kindness there. There should be compassion there. There should be service there. There should be respect there. There should be understanding there, right? But if all I'm getting is love, then what brand of love doesn't come with anything else? What brand of love doesn't come with anything else? Monica said, I used to think that was corny, but now I get it. What you get, Monica? Yeah, that part right there. Love is a frequency. Absolutely. Yeah, that's what I'm saying, Sean. You getting the word. See, but watch this. Most people are so starved for love because you're not giving it to yourself. Most people are so starved for love that they'll accept the word even though the action and the behaviors that go with that word, they're not receiving at that time. Why? Because they're attached to the person. Their attachment to the person has blinded them and has convinced them that they can't find any better than what they're already receiving. So it doesn't matter how much you convince them. It doesn't matter how much you talk to them. It doesn't matter how much you show them all the flaws and weaknesses behind their relationship. They don't see it. Because the attachment has them blinded. The attachment has them convinced that the relationship is more important to them than they are to them. Think about what I'm saying. Unless the person wouldn't be in it. The attachment has them convinced that the person is more important to them than they are to them. They've already lost themselves. So they're clinging to the relationship, clinging to the person, and the attachment has them convinced that the relationship and the person is more important to them than they are to them. So when you're looking at someone that's staying in a toxic relationship, that's exactly what you are signaling. What you are signaling is that this person in the relationship is more important to me than I am to me. Or why else would I be in it? What else would be keeping you there? Especially when you're not getting what you want, need, and desire. What else is keeping you there? Your attachment is keeping you there. The fact that you don't genuinely love yourself is keeping you there. You don't want to be lonely is keeping you there. I'd rather have half a man than no man at all, coach. I'd rather have half a woman than no woman at all, coach. At least I have a relationship, coach. I'd rather have something than nothing, but you don't have anything and you don't have yourself. And here's the thing. When that person has entertained, the person has at least entertained leaving the relationship 2 or 3 times. But when you lack self-awareness, we fail to realize and understand that what happens to us is fear kicks in. And fear kicks in, and what that fear will convince you in that moment is that because you walking away from that relationship represents uncertainty. What's your brain's job? Your brain's job is to keep you safe. Your brain's job is to keep you in environments that's familiar because it can predict the familiar. It can't predict the unknown. It can't predict what's uncertain. And so your brain will start finding all of these excuses. See, this is why awareness is so important. Your brain will start finding all of these excuses as to why you should stay in that relationship. Because you considering leaving the relationship, your brain doesn't have a database to draw off of. It can't predict what's getting ready to happen when you walk away. And its number one job is to keep you safe. So it's going to convince you that you need to stay, even though staying in that environment no longer serves you. Because your brain's job is not to focus on whether or not you're happy. Its job is to keep you safe. Your consciousness's job is to focus on your happiness and fulfillment, not your brain. So during those moments, we're so busy thinking through our brain and we're not tapped into our consciousness because we're not self-aware enough to understand the difference between the two. That's why awareness is so important to your life, because there are relationships that you are staying in past the expiration date because you're listening to your brain. Never realizing and understanding that your brain is a pattern matching machine. And anytime that it starts focusing on things that it doesn't know the pattern to, it'll start sending you all of these fear signals telling you that you should stay there, and because it can predict your life already. It can't predict what's going to happen when you walk out that door. And then you become terrified, and then you end up staying in a relationship that's causing you to shrink, that's causing you to be a shell of yourself, that you're not loving yourself because you're not self-aware enough to understand what's happening with your body. One more time, we know more about what's happening outside of us than we know about ourselves. That's your tragedy. And then we call them the problem. All right. That part right there, Red. Focus on you until the focus is you. You are the focus. Get self-awareness in your life. That's all I'm saying. You got to get self-awareness in your life. You got to understand what's happening. You got to understand what's happening. You got to understand what's happening with you. That's all I'm saying. You got to understand what's happening with you. One more time, your emotions are feedback. They're not facts. They're letting you know when something no longer is serving you. They're letting you know when something's not adding value to you. They're letting you know when it's time to leave that relationship. They're letting you know that this person doesn't work for you anymore. They're letting you know all of these things. But because you don't have a powerful relationship with your emotions, and because you don't have a powerful relationship with fear, you're allowing these things to make your decisions for you. Your emotions should never be holding the steering wheel to who you are. That's not their job. You shouldn't be making decisions from an emotional perspective. That's why self-observation is so important. All right. Real quick. So hopefully you guys, thank you guys for the gifts. Thank you, you guys. Thank you so much for the gifts, everyone. Thank you. I appreciate that. Appreciate that. Hopefully you guys, I added, an incredible amount of value to you guys today. Again, that's what self-love is all about, or not self-love, excuse me. That's what unconditional love is all about. It's about service, right? Unconditional love is about service. It doesn't matter where a person's from. It doesn't matter what they're doing. It doesn't matter what the color of your skin is. None of that matters. What matters is that we all have certain gifts that we bring to this world. Some people may be able to afford your gifts. Some people may not be able to afford them. I give the same energy to the people that can afford me, to the people that can't. Same energy. You wouldn't know the difference. You guys don't pay me to be here. And I give the same energy. Same energy as when I'm going out on some speaking engagement or I'm doing a coaching call or whatever. Same energy. No different. That's unconditional love. You just show up and you be the evidence of what God has transformed you into. And that's what I am, period. Having said all of that, how many mindset masters do we have on here? Type me right now in the comments. Let me see how many mindset masters we got on here. Paulina, love you too. Love you too. Got it. All right, so real quick, for anyone that's new to the live, how many new people do we have? How many people, this is your first time on a live with me today? Let me see how many new people. Okay. Real quick, my name is Jordan. I didn't even do an intro. I've been bad at that, you guys. I've been jumping on these lives and just taking off. No intro, no anything. Yeah, type new in the comments. Let me see how many new people. Type new in the comments if you're new. It's your first day, second day, third day. Type new. Yeah, I've been parachuting. I'm telling you guys, I've been jumping out the helicopter, man. Just no parachute, nothing. Just flying out. Okay. Real quick, my name is Jordan Williams. I am a certified life coach. I specialize in self-awareness and self-mastery, just helping people to understand that you are both the problem and the solution to your own life. Whatever solution you're looking for right now for your life, you are it. You are the solution. You're the problem only because it's your own mind that creates your problems. More specifically, it's your programming and conditioning that creates your problems. And what happens is that when you start walking out into the world, you see the world through your programming and conditioning. And so anytime that something is out of alignment with your programming and conditioning, anytime that something is just outside the lines of what you think should be, of what you think should be happening, in that moment, you punish yourself. And you punish yourself by releasing anger or frustration, unhappiness, rage, depression, moodiness, whatever. Okay, well, what's the problem with that? The problem with that is that 95% of the time, reality will not align with your programming and conditioning, which is why your emotions go like this. This is why sometimes you're happy, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you're sad, sometimes you're not. Sometimes you experience joy, sometimes you don't. Sometimes you're depressed, sometimes you're not. Because reality can't conform to your programming and conditioning. And which is why when you start studying self-awareness, this is one of the first things that has to go. My programming and conditioning doesn't affect reality anymore because I've already gotten deprogrammed. And that's one of the biggest things with self-awareness is just to get deprogrammed. Self-awareness isn't so much about what you learn. It's about unlearning, right? It's about unlearning things. There's so many things that you've been programmed to believe, so many beliefs that are not serving you, so much programming and conditioning, so much introjected beliefs, so much people projecting their pain, their wounds, their trauma, their beliefs, culture, religion, mistakes, past hurts. All of those things got projected onto you. The average person doesn't realize that when you look at something and you doubt whatever it is you're seeing in that moment, it's actually not you doubting the thing. It's something that you have picked up through your programming and conditioning, something that you have heard, whether from a parent, a grandparent, social media, society, whatever the case may be. And when you look at that thing, and I can qualify that, when you came into this world, that wasn't something that you had. When you were born, you doubted nothing. You didn't doubt anything. So where did doubt come from? It came from someone depositing that into you. So when you're going, where'd that fear come from? That's been something that was deposited in you. Where did the limiting beliefs come from? It came from something that was deposited in you, especially if you grew up in some lower income, lower environment where you didn't really have access to abundance and all of these other things like that. It's important for you to understand that. When your mind, when you were born, your mind was a blank canvas. There was nothing in it, which is why you were unconditional love, which is why you were happiness, which is why you were joy and excitement, because there were no programs running. Now you've got all of these programs running. And as you're moving through reality, you've got all of these programs running, but they're not your programs. But they are hurting you. So when I say that you are the problem and the solution, no, you didn't create the programs, but it is your job to become the solution to those programs. Because if you don't, you're going to continue to produce your own suffering. We think ourselves into doubt. We think ourselves into fear. We think ourselves into worry and anxiety and imposter syndrome. All of those things are a byproduct of your thinking. They have nothing to do with reality. It's your programming and conditioning being projected onto reality. That's what's hurting you right now more than anything else in the history of your life. And if you don't get a hold of that, if you don't get in front of that, you're just going to continue to produce your own suffering unnecessarily when you didn't have to, and so that's what's important. You've been programmed and conditioned to chase everything outside of yourself, just not chase yourself. Now it's time to make you the focus. So, Mindset Masters. So Mindset Masters, for all of the new people on the community, Mindset Masters is a community that my partners and I have created. It's a community that's going to help you become a master, to master your mindset. I mean, that's what it's all about. And to be honest with you, that's what life is. Can you master you? Think about what I'm saying. That's the whole purpose. Can you master you? Can you solve the puzzle called you? Can you solve the riddle called you? Can you stop standing in your story, which is producing all of your suffering, and stand on your story? Can you position yourself to where your story no longer impacts you and you see it as something that helped you to become the person that you are in this moment? And it's something that helped you to become the version of yourself that you're going to be when you become fully self-aware. That's what's important to understand. And so, With Mindset Masters, that's what the community is all about. We've created this community to help you gain mastery over your mindset, to become self-aware and to become emotionally bulletproof, but to also reach a level of emotional intelligence to where nothing outside of you has the power to affect you anymore. Inside of the Mindset Masters community, we have, gosh, there's so much going on in this community. It's amazing. But inside of the Mindset Masters community, all of my live streams are archived. So we probably got over 100 live streams archived inside of the community. And the beauty of that is that it gives you the ability to, pause, rewind, take notes and different things like that. Also, I've got a podcast that's archived inside of the community. You guys are going to have full access to that. You're going to have access to 2 life coaches and 1 executive coach. I write every single day inside of the community on topics of surrounding self-awareness, self-mastery, emotional intelligence, relationship mastery. You guys are going to have access to all of that. But the community has become so powerful. The community itself is so powerful because my students have been rocking with me for a long time. And so they've become so powerful in their own right. And so that's why it's not only just the fastest growing community on social media. I don't think there's a community more powerful on social media because so many of my students are already self-aware, masters of themselves, have mastered their mindsets. It's a beautiful thing to see. They're strong. We do. Also, that's another thing that I do. I go live inside of the community every Tuesday and Thursday. So I'll be going live tonight at 7 p.m. Central inside of the Mindset Masters community. So if you guys are ready to take your life to the next level, to literally become the most powerful version of yourself, just type me in the comments right now. Let me see how many new people or how many people that are just ready to. But you have to be. You have to have desire. You got to have desire, you guys. If you bring the desire to become something greater than you are right now, I'll teach you everything that you need to know so that you can become a master of self. The entire community, that's another thing too. My book, when you guys get signed up today, you're going to get a free copy of my book, The Secret of Awareness, How Powerful Are You Ready to Be? This book is so important for your growth and transformation. There's so much I'm trying to just pump into this few minutes because, I'm probably missing things. There's so many things that I'm missing. It's probably mind blowing. But lastly, the community. So the community is literally $1 a day. It's $29 a month. No contracts, no obligations. Urgency, yeah, have that urgency. No contracts, no obligations. And what I encourage you guys to do is try it for a month. You're going to get a free copy of my book. Try it for a month. And I promise you at the end of that 1 month, you'll be like, Coach, this is the best investment I've ever made. And you're going to want to stay. And then we just, like I said, again, we start the process of you becoming the most powerful version of yourself, and you will become that person. The only thing stopping you is your mindset. Nothing else can stand in your way. So all you guys have to do is this, press that link down, copy and paste that link right there, hold it down for like 3 seconds, put it inside of your browser, and then it'll take you to the sign up page. It's probably going to take you like a minute to get signed up, and then you guys will be ready to go. What was that question? Did we get access to something and I missed it? Yeah, Red, the community is so powerful. I don't even know how to. It's for everybody. It's for everybody. Yeah, the community, men, women, it's for everybody. And it's all PG. So if you got like a young teen that's like struggling with like identity issues or just struggling, period, it's definitely something a place where you want to bring them as well. Couples, most definitely, because I feel like self-awareness is the glue. Self-awareness is the glue to everything, to be honest with you. So if you want to really strengthen your relationship, I encourage you guys to do it. Or if your relationship is you got just been kind of struggling, in the relationship, most definitely do it together as a couple and just watch how that relationship changes and becomes something so much greater as a result. Any other community related questions before I get out of here, you guys? Yeah, Mo, you'll love it. Like I said again, it just self-awareness. Self-awareness fixes everything, man. It heals everything. I don't care what you're going through. Like it's gonna heal everything. Especially if it, but it's so deeper than what you think it is. It's so deeper than what you think it is. So deeper than what you think it is. I don't think that I think if a person sat here and talked for 10 hours straight, they wouldn't really be able to tell you what it is. You said, how long is each session? What do you mean? Oh, you're welcome, Shay. Thank you, Shay. Yeah, I'll see you guys tonight inside of the community at 7 p.m. Central Time. No, nice to meet you as well, Shay. Nice to meet you as well. Hopefully, I'll see you back on another live. Um, any other? How long does it take to master self-awareness? To be honest with you, it's all predicated on your desire. I've got a high motor. If you guys couldn't already tell that, I've got a high motor. Like my motor is high. So for me, there was so much desire and passion and fire for me to learn. So I think that I picked it up a lot faster than most people, you know. But again, it's all predicated on your level of desire. I've had people. It took them a month. I had people. It took them 6 months. It really depends. I've had people read my book and say, Coach, my life changed from that. I've had people say it, you know, in 2 weeks, their life has changed. It's all, really what it's predicated on, to be honest with you, what it's predicated on is how much programming and conditioning you have. Thank you, Shay. I appreciate that, Mama. How much programming and conditioning you have. That's really what it's tied to. It's really not tied to your desire. It's really not tied to your passion. I mean, those things are important. Don't get me wrong, but it's really predicated on what you've been through in all of your yesterdays, right? How much we call it dust. How much dust is under, you know, how much dust has been piled on top of you. That's really what it's really based on that. And if you think about it, everyone's programming and conditioning is so unique to them. Some people don't have a lot of it. Some people didn't really grow up with a lot of trauma or abuse or anything like that going on. So they're not suffering in any way, you know, not to say that they're not suffering, but just not that much. And then you got some people that have just been through it. So it's always predicated on that. So the desire, the passion to be something greater than you are, yes, but also that, also how much programming and conditioning is there? Does that make sense? BB, I appreciate that. Yeah, I do. Yeah, you're right, BB. We need to get that started. Yeah, we need to get that started. But yeah, so I would be, I think I would be, it, you know, it would be so unfair and I would be being dishonest in this moment if I was like, oh, I can get you self-aware because I don't know what's there. You know, and anyone that tells you that they can and they can give you some time, some date, they're not being honest with you. I don't know. But what I do know is once I understand what your story is and once I understand, you know, what you've been through, then I know what we're dealing with. And what I can guarantee you is this, it's going to happen. The only way it won't happen is if you take your foot off the gas pedal, is the only way it won't happen. The fact that you're here lets me know that there's an awakening that's supposed to happen for you. You wouldn't be here. The people that come to my live streams my content and what I talk about, if you're not on some spiritual awakening journey, if you're not on some self-mastery journey, you wouldn't even be here. This is just, you'd be somewhere, you just wouldn't be here. You said you had an awakening, Shay? Shonda, you know what I'm saying? If you didn't, like, this is not, like, it's like, you know, there's certain places you just don't stumble upon, you know. This is one of those places, you know, if you were here, it's because you were called here. Prayer, BB, I appreciate that. I appreciate that, Mama. Thank you. Yeah, Lena, I'm telling you, and that force that called you here is ready for you to start that process, to start that journey. Now you can fight and you can do all of these things, But if you knew what you were getting ready to become, it's like that peach tree seed. We talk about this all the time. It's like that peach tree seed. If you're standing next to a farmer right now, you're standing next to a farmer. Now, you don't know anything about farming yourself, but you're standing next to the farmer and you're asking that farmer, well, what are you getting ready to plant? He's like, I'm getting ready to plant this peach tree seed, right? Now, you know what a peach tree is. You know what a fully mature peach tree is. Not only do you know what a fully mature peach tree is, but you know what a peach tastes like. You're like, oh, that's going to be great. Farmer's like, yeah, 6 months to a year, this tree be ready to go. But here's what I want you to think about. This is important here. Here's what I want you to think about. If that tree itself, if that little seed, the entire tree is inside that seed. You didn't hear nothing about what I just said. Think about what I'm saying. I said, if you are sitting here with the farmer, sitting here with a farmer right now, he shows you a peach tree seed, just a seed. The entire tree is already inside of that seed. The seed doesn't need anything else. You don't need to add anything to it. You're the seed. So the greatest version of you is already in you right now. That's what I need you to understand. So when that farmer takes that seed, now watch this. That part right there, Red, when that farmer takes that seed, and if that seed could speak, that seed will say, I don't want you to plant me in the ground. Now you get ready to place me underneath all this heavy earth. No, don't put me there. If I'm going to be the tree, can't I just be the tree right now? Can't I just be the tree above ground? Because if you plant me in the ground, you may forget about me. If you plant me in that ground, you may not come back and water me. If you plant me in the ground, I may not have all the nutrients that I need. And the farmer's thinking to himself, no, I got this. Don't worry, I won't forget. The farmer is the metaphor for God in that moment. He said, I'm going to plant you here. Don't worry. Watch what you become. But in the mind of that seed at the time, the seed doesn't know what it has the potential to become. Just like you. You have no idea what you have the potential to become yet. God already knows what you're going to look like when you become the fully most powerful version of you. He already knows. He said, if you only knew the same thing that you would be saying to that seed, if you only knew what you were getting ready to become, all of the people that you're going to feed, all of the different types of things that we're going to be able to make from your fruit, all of the people that are going to benefit from what you bring to the table. But in that, because that seed is speaking from seed format, it doesn't see all of that. Just like you. You have no idea what you're getting ready to become. I'm already on the other side of self-awareness. I'm looking back at you in seed format. And I'm saying, man, if you only knew. If you would just keep watering yourself, if you would just keep showing up, if you would just keep believing in yourself, if you would just keep loving yourself and watch what you become. That's what I'm saying. If you only look at yourself from seed format, from seed perspective, you won't see it. The most powerful version of you, like I said, the entire tree is already in the seed. That's not a play on words. When you plant that seed in the ground, the entire tree is in the seed. It's just going to take time for everything to materialize. It's going to take time for everything to mature. But the same thing's happening with you. That's what I need you to understand. So God has planted you in your family. He has planted you in that story. He has planted you in everything that went wrong in all of your yesterdays. That's your soil. And no other person on the planet has that same soil as you. That's why no one knows what your potential is. Only God does. No one knows what your potential is. You don't even know. The same thing with the seed. And it's not until you become self-aware and you become fully aligned with him, then you'll start to understand. I understand what my potential is, and I understand what my purpose is because I watered myself. I put in the work. I didn't take my foot off the gas when it comes to belief. I didn't take my foot off the gas when it comes to love. I didn't take my foot off the gas when it comes to showing up every single day. Now I'm the tree, and I'm feeding you now. I'm giving you my fruit right now. That's what you're getting right now. You're getting my fruit. All right. You guys stay prayed up. I will see you guys. What's tomorrow? Friday? I'll see you guys tomorrow. Other than that, I will see you guys. Rika, thank you so much. Paulina, thank you so much. Red, thank you so much. Muhammad, my brother, good to see you. I will see you guys. Thank you so much.